the cell-mediated immunity was suppressed, every single cell of these animals' bodies were full of deadly viruses, but they ran around like there was nothing wrong. All of my life, people with stage 4 cancer have told me personally I was never sick a day in my life. If we go back to the 1930s pre-Hitler Germany, a doctor named Enderlein demonstrated with live blood analysis that your immune system can be disabled. You can be infected, you can be full of disease, but you will not feel sick because your body isn't fighting it. Now, these World Health Organization experimenters would then take their lab animals and stimulate the cell-mediated immunity response, and the animals would sometimes die immediately from their bodies attacking themselves in what was called the Cytokine Storm that we associated with that 1918 Spanish flu. This same year of 1972, Nixon signed a bill entering 1.7 million Americans into the Social Security system, allowing for kidney transplants and dialysis. Prior to this, God squads, that's what they called them, God squads of doctors would decide who lived and who died because dialysis was not available to everyone as an entitlement. Typically, the ones that got accepted were working-age white men. Everybody else died. Again, in 1972, this is our magic year, folks, work began on anti-fertility vaccines. When Dr. Carley talks about weapons of mass destruction and genocide, we have proof in the NATO books. We have proof in all of their writings of what they have been doing since this very time frame. All vaccines cause serum sickness. Serum sickness causes kidney disease in everybody. In the wake of the 1972 WHO memos, they focused on kidney disease. Why would Nixon suddenly enter millions of Americans into a program for the treatment of kidney disease? And I'll tell you why. In 2008, a television show called Fringe stated their plot line was that the entire planet was being used as an experiment. In intelligence operations, this is called hiding in plain sight. The reimbursement for dialysis has actually gone down 60% in adjusted dollars since 1972, yet multi-billion-dollar industries have grown on it. How can that possibly happen? The major providers are in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. These three nations, to my understanding, is where the Roman Empire came from. What better way to monitor the progress of your experiment on an entire human population of the world than to create an entire industry around it with centralized reporting of the test results, such as the electronic methods that they have with Medicare and the HMOs? What better way to fund it than to have it come from tax dollars, which means that you're paying for your own destruction and autopsy? Now, it's my understanding that Baxter is one of the major dialysis providers being charged by Jane Burgermeister for the intentional release of biological weapons, and she can speak on that and tell me whether or not that's true. Baxter provides dialysis. Baxter makes vaccines. Are you seeing the connections here, folks? 1972 WHO memos. They were studying kidney disease. They were injecting viruses, and Dr. Carley taught me that when you hear the word virus, think vaccines. When you hear the word vaccine, think virus. Now, Obama mandated 3 flu vaccines. We have to ask ourselves when we examine this, why 3? If we understand the pattern from the WHO memos, we see that 1 injection may be required to turn off the victim's immune system. The next vaccine will be needed to load them up with deadly organisms. The 3rd vaccine will turn the immune system back on for the kill. Even if this scenario was not possible, it's my understanding that the current swine flu is made with an adjuvant that may have bacterial poison, salmonella typhoid fever toxin, and squalene in it. Do you see the pattern? Typhus is what they were supposed to have injected the soldiers with in 1918. It always begins with a bacterial toxin injected first. And squalene is guaranteed to cause autoimmunity and eventually death in anyone who takes it. The Government Accountability Office, the GAO, exposed the Department of Defense using squalene without the knowledge or consent of soldiers in 1999. It's in print, folks. I've been sending this out to all my list.
Let's Ailing America, where today we're talking about the show that can save the globe from mass genocide if we reach critical mass. My special guest right now is researcher Patricia Jordan from Illinois. Patrick, please continue with your presentation on the WHO memos. Don't forget to mention where people can obtain your excellent, outstanding book, giving the best timeline of this genocidal preparation I've ever seen. Go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Carley. I left off with the GAO exposing the Department of Defense knowingly poisoning soldiers without knowledge or consent with squalene, and they denied it even though an independent lab confirmed it. These vaccine manufacturers are making known poisons. There are no excuses or explanations for this. This is an assault. This is a weapon. Modern medicine and science has all the appearance today, from my analysis of everything that I have gone through, of being a Manhattan Project-style organization of compartmentalized research with a common goal of creating weapons of mass destruction with only the top Elu Amun Atis knowing exactly what the game plan is.
If I could just say, Patrick, I want people to realize they have declared war upon the people, and they are using the name health in exchange for what they're really doing, which is killing.
It's always opposite day, like we say, Dr. Carley.
Yes,
the Satanic Creed is good is evil and evil is good. They are going to say it is health care. They are going to say that it is for your benefit. They are going to say that it is for your life. And I'm telling you right now, if you think that Patricia Jordan has misinterpreted the facts and you think you can play Russian roulette with one single swine flu vaccine, we know that there is squalene in it. Squalene is known to cause autoimmunity. It will make you ill. It will cause your untimely death. These are scientific facts. Now, the WHO memorandums also talk about subacute sclerosing panencephalitis, hemorrhagic fever, and rabies. These are the focus of my colleagues' studies, so I'm going to turn it over at this time for them to complete the picture of this full scope of a historical and planetary crime. And then for Dr. Carley, I'd like to tell the listeners that if they want to contact me by mail or email, that they can go to www.drcarley.com. That's drcarley.com. And there is a link to my information and my book if you would like to make a purchase. I have to tell you that I have not been able to get onto the Internet for 2 days, and that is no surprise to me given the kind of information we have to give out. I will do my best to answer everybody's inquiries in a timely fashion, but know that I have been knocked offline. And now it's over to you and my good friends.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. And once again, I just want to encourage all of you to get Patrick's book, ICD 999, which explains the serum sickness postulate that he's been working on for so many years. I'm getting a message from Drew Rains. He has posted those WHO memos on his site 3 times, but nobody's been able to download them. So he's working on it, and I have faith that he will get those up so you can read those. His website is AMD, that stands for a Marines Disquisition, .elequity.com. In terms of what Patrick was mentioning about subacute sclerosing panencephalitis and the measles virus on the same page, 259 of WHO memo number 1, that's what I've been saying for 12 years, folks. SSPE is autism. Further evidence that these pieces of garbage know exactly what they're doing, creating these diseases. Dr. Jordan has talked before about weaponized rabies, and today I wanted to have her concentrate on the